Then let's move on to the new mechanics, which Senia already touched on a tiny bit. Most importantly, that event objectives are highlighted in dark side, but they have a range which is by default 10 meters. And I think here we can show the video for this here. And then we will also tell you how to increase the range. You will see these event items.
So basically, initial range, which will be given to like every player by default, and you will see the icon saying like 10 meters. It will be at the start of the game for any event objects, and they will be highlighted in the dark side. Like you can see, like even like they're on this shot, like compared to the clues, how they are highlighted there. So that's a clear difference, like between clues, words, and pyres there. So you can spot them and you can pick the direction where you want to move. So default range will be given 10 meters to on the distance where you can see event objects in the dark side. So it's like literally to take like quick look around you and realize if there's like in any house or anywhere nearby any objects. But you will be able actually to increase this range. And this time we also have like known boost consumables. They are called VAYFARERs, and besides boosting event points, like for any other previous event, they will also boost highlight range for event objects. And maximum range, what you can reach with the use boost consumable, it's 70 meters, because range has 70 meters hard cap on top, so you can't actually move like further, even if you're using like a lot of consumables. You still can increase maximize your amount of points, but maximum number of meters that you can increase with a boost consumable 70 meters. And 70 meters, that's a lot.
That's half a compound, basically.
Yeah. So again, 10 meters is the default, and you can boost it up to 70 as a maximum. And I think in the video we showed it was 55 meters, so somewhere in the middle. But it's quite cool, and how all the highlights work, and I think it's like a really fun new mechanic to the game that makes the event very unique. And yeah, so you mentioned the VAYFARERs, the new consumables, so let's just talk about them a bit. We will have 3 different types of them. 15 proof VAYFARERs for 40 blood bonds in the store, and they will increase your points collected by 15%, and 5 meter range boost to the dark side enhancement. I already seen people asking if it works for the whole team or just for you.
Yes, both event points and like range meters, they are shared within the team. But like I already mentioned, range has a cap, 70 meters. So all boost consumable, they're stacking. And if the maximum amount of boost event points that you can reach, it's like 600%. But range will be kept at 70. So 70 is the maximum.
Yeah, as we mentioned, you get one of these items on the beginning of your progression to start with.
Actually 2, even 2.
Oh, 2. That's even better, yeah. Then we have the medium-sized version of this, which is 25 proof VAYFARER for 80 blood bonds, and this will increase your points collected by 25% and a 10 meter range boost to your dark side vision. And then the biggest one is the 50 proof VAYFARER for 130 blood bonds, and this will increase your points collected for the whole team by 50%, and your dark side range for the event interactable items by 50 meters. And,
I would like to clarify one thing, because like there's like it's up in the chat, like consumable increase your vision inside the dark side only for event objects, so for pyres and for words. Nothing that we're highlighting anything else, and you can increase the range like by buying the consumable. No, that's specifically only for event objects, which are highlighted with this like nice white effect there. So event only.
Yeah, so it's basically just to boost your points for you and your team. Like you don't really gain an advantage over anyone. You can just find the objects a bit easier, and you gain a bit more percentage of points, so you can unlock those legendaries a bit quicker. And yeah, we can also show you how it looks in the game with the example of the 50 proof one. Yeah, so after that animation, you will be able to, as we mentioned,
you can see the numbers like change in the bottom left, basically, and then that's the stack for the team, depending how much you boosted it. So it's pretty much the same mechanic as we've seen from other events, where after consumption, which you normally do in the beginning of the round, the effect comes into effect, obviously. But you can also, if you want, for whatever reason, wait and do it at any point.
Exactly, and I think that's about the vapors. And you may ask at this point that, oh, are we having only 2 hunters?
Just two hunters. I mean, it's only double the amount of the normal events we had last time, right? Like just 2. Okay, we give you more.
So, as we mentioned in the beginning, we will have a time-limited event store for the very first time. And in that particular store, you will be able to buy some legendary with blood bonds. So you can buy a legendary math kit called the WAXWING just in the store and just during the duration of the event, so you won't be able to buy it afterwards. And a legendary hunter as well, the WAYFARER. But if you want to get both of them, then you can get a bundle with like 10% off and get both legendary hunter and skin together in a bundle.
But keep in mind that those items and they're event exclusive as well, and they will be available only for the duration of the event. So in the event store page where you could buy vapors and where like all other boost consumables located, you can find those items there, but only for the duration of the event.
Exactly. So let's have a look these
at what
items, and then we will also show you the store page. So the first aid kit, as I mentioned, called the WAXWING, looks something like this.
I really like that. It goes very nicely with the hunters. It's very thematic.
And now I can choose between the cold snap or this one.
I always base it a little bit off the hunters I'm using. So I mean, I have the full collection. So basically, it's my little purse for Monday, my little purse for Tuesday. So I can basically match them against my hunters, which is actually really nice. So this one obviously will be my go-to for the event.
Yeah, I see some people laughing at first aid kit, but let's be honest here. First aid kit is one of the most used items in Hunt. Like you will see it every single fight probably if you're not some crazy 6-star hunter. And then we have the legendary hunter, the WAYFARER, and she looks awesome.
What it allows for is basically that if you go in with a trio, for example, like each of you guys can have their own unique legendary hunter themed for the event. So I'm very curious to see how many teams you'll see running around with like a mix of these very awesome hunters.
Yeah, you like literally can reconstruct our trailer, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can reconstruct it on both ends, but I would suggest to use the one for the guys that actually kill the others.
And yeah, here's the store page that I mentioned. You can see the medkit costs 300 blood points, the hunter 800, and you can also see the vapors there. And yeah, this is the WAXWING in particular. Then this is the WAYFARER, super cool. And then obviously we have the bundle I mentioned. So for 990 blood points, you can get actually both the medkit and the hunter.
But keep in mind, if you purchase like single item, like separately hunter and separately medkit, bundle will disappear because like you already purchased one item out of like 2 this pair. So like be careful if you want to obtain bundle. Better to obtain bundle.
It's a nice optional thing. I really like that. I mean, just like with the vapors, I mean, none of that is essential, right? This is the chance for you to see, hey, I really like that. I would like to get on top, but you don't need the vapors to unlock all of the other content. You can just keep on playing, and that's perfectly fine. But if you want to speed up things a little bit, this is like your chance to do it. And if you want to get more variety, even then, you also have the chance to do it by just getting these skins while the event is running.
Exactly, and I think some of you may ask at this point, like, oh, are we only getting 3 hunters this time?
It's really weak this time. We should be ashamed of ourselves.
And
no, we got you covered. We have one more. You might have already seen that one a little bit. We've teased it a little bit earlier.
And with that being said, let's just take a look at something quickly. Yes, you saw it in the trailer. There's a 4th hunter, and even more than that, actually, that you can actually already get right now on Steam. It's available. The BAYOU DLC you can already get, so you can even play with this hunter before the event, which is kind of crazy. But
you can get it right now. Basically, it's already available as a DLC. So if you already want to get into the mood for the event, you can go to the servers tonight already using one of the 4 if you get the DLC.
Exactly. And only 4 hunt. Sorry, we can't increase it this time, but maybe next time, you know. And yeah.
Yeah. So only 4 hunters then.
Only
huh?
4. Yeah. And only 4 hunters on the, what is it, like 6 skins? 7? I don't know. Quite a lot.
It's a huge amount of content. I'm really happy how this all turned out. So you can maybe see our excitement a little bit here today.
Yeah, that's, you've seen it in the little trailer for BAYOU is the new legendary knife, the new legendary Springfield compact striker, and the legendary hunter. And we actually also have a small video just to show you the 2 weapons. So let's take a look at those. Here's the striker, looks super cool. And the knife, Verbena.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah,
That's
they
so cool.
both look really cool. And they fit together perfectly with the hunter as well.
This is also something which is important to understand. So since this is a DLC, it will be available all the time, right? So even when the event is over, this is your way still of being able to get a legendary like Native American hunter, and it will be available. If you want to get him for Christmas, you can get him Christmas. You want to get him like middle of the year, you can do that as well. So he will be just a regular DLC, and you can buy them whenever you feel like it.
Also worth to mention regarding the blood bond items in the store page. So once you unlock them with the blood bonds during the event, of course they will stay with you. So it's not something that we are taking away after the event is over.
It's a permanent unlock, but it will only be available to unlock during the event time. While the DLC, just to repeat that, will be available throughout the year once we introduce it. And there have been some people asking, so when it's coming to console, as far as I know, this will be also very, very shortly. Usually just like there's a bit of a delay in some of these. So expect that also to come online very soon, and very much within the time frame of when the event is going. So you will be able to play with all of those 4 hunters easily on all platforms while the event is running.
And while we're talking items in the event store page, it's also worth to mention then in the quick play you will be able to find 15 proof Reapers. So not only in the event store, but also in the quick play matches, because like I see questions popping up there about like, hey, will it be seated there? Yes.
And there's a hint in there. Yes, there will also be quick play. So as you guys might remember from the last time when we had our boss reveal, the scrapping event, like scrapping obviously can't be in quick play. So that's why we prioritized giving you guys a chance to experience a new boss. This time around, things are looking very good. So there will be the quick play from the beginning and hopefully also still at the very end. So let's see how you break the servers, guys. But we're all very hopeful and it's looking all very good.
Awesome. And let's just take a look at all the skins as well, including DLC, like for the other. So obviously we have the Legendary Hunter. Do you pronounce it TECHE? Dennis, maybe you want.
So I wouldn't be able to tell that with full confidence, but so far I've always referred to him as TECHE Wrath.
TECHE Wrath.
So
right, Wrath. Okay.
Wraith,
but
it
he looks really cool either way. So he's included in the DLC, and you will be able to read his backstory as well, probably already on Steam actually. So just give it a look when you can. And the two legendary weapons, starting with the knife Verbena, which you already seen in the video, looks really cool. And the Springfield Compact Striker WRAITH'S hand, which is also super badass with those drawings and markings, and it fits the knife really well and the hunter as well, so I mean it makes sense. And I think that's about our DLC. Don't forget that it's already available and it will be available on console very soon, and as Dennis mentioned, you will be able to get it after the event is over as well, so that's not time limited or time based. And before we dive into our gameplay segment, let's just quickly take a look at all our legendary events weapons that you can get during the event, just so you guys won't forget. And then we will dive into our gameplay changes for the bow, for the new time of day, and the throwing axe as well.
Now, so maybe just to wrap it up about the event. So to progression, you will be able to complete them both. So in one, you will get like only gameplay unlocks. It's a hunting bow pass. For throwing axe, that also will be progression will be filled with some hunt dollars and blood bones. And also, I think worth to mention that if you already unlock this, the gameplay stuff like traits, base weapon, or custom armor, and if you're precision during the event while event is running, you still will keep this, so you're not losing it. But of course, if event is over and you decided to prestige after the event, of course you will lose it and you will need to unlock it via the ranking system.
That's some really, really cool stuff here. I'm super excited.
And you won't have to wait much. It starts tomorrow at 2 p.m. UTC.
Yes.
Okay, and it's time to talk about the gameplay.
Before we head right into it, let me just say a couple of words. So this event is something which has been very special for us. Like when we started investigating into like, oh, what type of events would be interesting in Hunt Showdown, like what type of really cool like engagement do you want to offer you guys? Like the Native Americans have always been one of our top choices, and due to the way we implemented things, and obviously like certain events like Halloween, like the dates don't move, right? So they kind of like affected our priorities a little bit in terms of how we organized our events, how we moved to implement it and make them available to you guys. So that now we finally have a chance to come back to this event, which has been really, really dear and precious to us. And one thing that is also very important is that this can be a very tricky subject, right? Native Americans and specifically like the perils of the indigenous people at the time. It's something you have to be careful about because you want to treat us with respect. You don't want to just like make an Indian versus cowboy thing here, right? You want to be respectful of the setting. You want to incorporate it and you want to give them representation. And because it's important for us to kind of showcase this a little bit, we also have a blog post that we released yesterday, which gives a bit like behind the scenes impression to this. So I think this will be posted in the link here as well for people interested. So if you want to understand more how we went about that topic, how we made sure that we want to treat this in a respectful manner, but still incorporate it in a very interesting way into